Ever had those parents that would constantly nag and tell you that playing video games are not going to do anything for you in the future? Well, I'm Jonathan, and I'm here to change that train of thought for you today. Video games are played by over 150 million people worldwide today, aging from the age group of 18 up to 35. I started playing video games at a young age, where my first console was the Atari, and Bomberman was my first game. I'm gonna provide you with some good facts about playing video games and how it can increase your brain. And with the good facts, going to come some negative effects. Of course, there's going to be some negative with the good because that's just how life plays out. The first, the first thing I would like to bring up is an article posted by Nick McDermott in the New York Post. This article was posted November 15th, 2017, and it was about a study he did with York University. This study included 48 PhD students who took two tests. The first test included a MOBA game, which stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. And this game was League of Legends, which is a very popular game in the esports community. The second test included League of Legends, Battlefield, which is a first-person shooter game, and another MOBA game called Dota. They noticed with the first test that the people increased their strategy and decision-making drastically while playing just League of Legends. With the second test, they noticed that the players that played League of Legends once again increased their strategy and decision making and their memory, but the people that played the first person shooter, they only focused on speed and accuracy. This also showed that at the younger age, speed and accuracy is what takes over for us. So at the younger generation is succeeding in those first person shooters, while the older generation is gravitating more towards those multiplayer strategy based type games. With this study, they noticed that these video games, these strategic video games, are focusing on the gray matter of your brain, your frontal areas, which are in charge of collecting intel, processing that data, and distributing back out. They also saw that it did focus on the white matter part of your brain, which is your cortical connectivity. Another reference that I saw that was pretty interesting because it's based on the game that I played today is this game right here, Overwatch. Now this research study was done by Scott Weems from the Psychology Today, and it was published February 23rd, 2018. Now Scott, like I, played video games from a young age, since he was 9 years old, he said. And he plays this game, Overwatch, that I play religiously on an everyday basis. And this game is a strategic team-based building type game, which it pairs you with about 4 to 5 other pairs, and you have to think of a strategy to accomplish these goals. They did this test with 56 people and noticed that these people built their IQ up. Now this goes back to earlier days where they started saying that chess players, people who are very great at chess, their IQ was higher than a normal person today. With this Overwatch game, they also paired it with another first-person shooter game and saw the same effects from the last research study that was done, that the MOBA players were achieving better success with their certain brain parts than the first-person shooter game. They also clarified that the age of these people were 30 years or higher that were gravitating more towards these MOBA-type platforms. With this study, he also did a study with Florida State University about 2 games, one called Luminacy, which is a puzzle type game that is marketed to increase your muscle memory and puzzle part of your brain matter. And they saw that this didn't do anything. The game was just a marketed scheme, and people buy it because it is a fun game and they're thinking they get something out of it, but the study showed that they really didn't do nothing. When they did put in another game called Portal 2 on the PlayStation, they showed that this strategic type based game, it was still puzzle based, but it had different type of puzzles. It wasn't just simply as like Tetris or something. It was more of thinking outside the box with like 3D type structures. They showed that this game did improve your IQ drastically. Now, with the good, it always comes the bad. People say playing video games a lot resort to violence, and this study has been debunked. There has been no type of studies found that video games are linking to violence. So if your kid's sitting there playing Grand Theft Auto for 4 hours a day, yes, playing a video game in front of the TV 4 hours a day is not great for you because it does have negative effects on your eyes, but it does not link to violence. A study shown in University of Arizona done by Adam, Daphne Bilver, and Sean Green for their information tech department showed that video game players titled, video game players that can do serious good. They focused on a game called Minecraft. Now, Minecraft is this game right here that I bought for my son, and Microsoft recently bought this game and distributed it inside schools for a learning platform. It's called Minecraft EDU, and colleges and schools use this platform as an open base source platform, kind of like a sandbox, so they can create structures, farms, architecture, and just have a hands-on feel without actually being in the field with their students. They show that the students that use this were able to get better hands-on with the in their trade, and that they were able to build better sportsmanlike and team-based skills in that matter. There was also a study done with the University of London, and they could use 72 participants who were all women. Now, this is kind of a different side of the aspect, because they always swear that video games are just for males. No, this was a group of 72 women that were used that played video games for 40 hours over the course of 6 to 8 weeks. And they used women. They tried to do a mixed group, but they saw that males weren't really fitting in this category, so they just used all women. And they played StarCraft, which is also a MOBA type game, and they played The Sims. And they found the same effects, that MOBA type game is increasing that brain matter that's helping us being able to think on the fly. Maybe it's because The Sims puts you in a pattern of your everyday life, so your muscle memory develops to that pattern, and therefore your brain becomes used to doing the same thing over and over. Now, like I said, the side effects of playing video games for a long period of time are out there. It's bad for your eyes. They also say it takes away and gives you headaches, which I can advise that it does do that. I've myself played video games from 7 a.m. in the morning to about 7 p.m. at night, and had to go to the doctor because I've had problems where I've gotten headaches because I wasn't playing. So yes, monitor the time that your kid does use these systems for, and keep track of everything they do. So I'm not saying to let your kid spend 12 hours a day playing video games, but if he does want to play a video game, why not know what type of games to use so he is gaining something positive from doing something that he enjoys. People in their 20s are more gravitating towards these first-person shooters because they're focusing more on their accuracy and their speed, while people in their later ages, of the age of 30 to 35, are focusing more on these mobile-based games because we're more of the strategic type thinking on the go and adjusting to our surroundings. On the other flip side, video games are also being used to cure dementia and Alzheimer's. For the older elderly generation, they're showing that certain games, if they keep playing these games, their brain is starting to remember these muscle memories and starting to come back and actually bring back things that they lost. So next time you want to pick up a new hobby, if you're looking to pick up a video game, make sure it's a puzzle type game or strategy type game, so that way you can at least gain something on the positive side and not just focus on the negative. I'm Jonathan, hope you enjoy.